normally, this portion of the week would be dedicated to indie news, but we're down our indie guy, and I know more about WWE than I do about the indies. So right now, we're going to be talking some special WWE news.
Yeah, me and Kevin Hawk will be doing an indie news later this week, but as of right now, there's been some interesting stories transpiring. Starting from Monday and through till today.
I want to start by clarifying, because I reported this when I read it. On Reddit. Okay, so the Roman Reigns possible steroid lead was determined to be most likely false, as the source never revealed himself.
Yeah, it was an anonymous source, so it was kind of like...
It was kind of iffy.
Yeah, it was, take it with a grain of salt. It's not fully... but I think WWE came out and said that is completely false. Roman Reigns has not failed any drug tests. There's he's not in any trouble at all. But I guess...
But Lesnar did walk out. He was there.
Yeah, he was having... They're in negotiations, because right now Brock Lesnar only has like a handful... I think he's only got 3 more appearances.
Yeah.
He's got like 1 more Raw... He's got WrestleMania and then the Raw after SmackDown. Or after SmackDown. The Raw after WrestleMania are like his last 3 appearances that he has. And so they're working on the new deal.
Yeah.
And apparently whatever Vince offered him, he didn't like.
Yeah.
So, it's more so Brock Lesnar kind of throwing himself a pity party.
Right.
He was able to go home right away because apparently in his contract, Brock Lesnar... WWE sends their jet to pick up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Specifically to bring him to whatever show that he needs to show up at.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brock, like, that's all I'll say.
All right.
But yeah, is it... So they say the WrestleMania main event's not in jeopardy. Is it bad that I kind of hope Brock doesn't show up? So we can, so we can get like just because in my mind WWE has to do damage control if that happens, because you have to have a main event. So I don't know, we'll have an emergency WrestleMania like not battle royal, but like mini Royal Rumble that Daniel Bryan wins, and we can have Daniel Bryan versus Reigns in the main event. WrestleMania.
You know what I would actually kind of like, if there's a whole issue. Like, if Brock Lesnar just, up and leaves.
Yeah.
WWE is able to do whatever the hell they want at that point because he's still under contract.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't show up, they have the right to do whatever they want with his storyline if he's not going to come and do what's asked of him. If they go into the main event and they're like, we're going to award Roman Reigns, because it's it would technically be a forfeit, Roman Reigns wins by forfeit. Have Rollins come out and go, no.
Right.
No, that's not how that works. He wants to earn a shot. Have him go against me. I'm not cashing this in, but you don't have a WrestleMania main event, so give me a shot. Do Reigns versus Rollins.
You could even have Reigns win the match, and then have Rollins turn around and cash in.
Yes.
And then win the belt.
Regardless of what happens, I'm still convinced that Rollins is cashing in.
Yeah.
Rollins is cashing in, and he's going to win. He's going to walk out of Mania as champion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's so open-ended at this point. We haven't heard any updates. We know that Lesnar didn't, he was supposed to be on Raw.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be part of that segment with Heyman when Reigns was out in the ring. And so Heyman ended up doing it by himself. He wasn't there for SmackDown. So
the segment did feel like the way they did it did feel like
something was missing.
Like Lesnar was supposed to be there, because the way they had Bryan walking up the ramp and then Heyman come out, and Bryan kind of was a bit standoffish, but like staring him down, and Heyman froze for a sec. It felt like Lesnar was supposed to come out right then.
Yeah. So I actually have the dates that Lesnar has left on his contract. He's supposed to be there March 9th, Raw in Pittsburgh, the 23rd, Raw in Los Angeles, WrestleMania, and then Raw the day after WrestleMania. So he's literally got 4 more appearances left in his contract. Yeah, it says it's believed that Lesnar will show at 4's remaining WWE dates because skipping them would bring a breach of contract,
right,
which could cause all kinds of legal trouble for Reigns. And with Heyman actually being Brock Lesnar's agent, he's not going to let that happen.
Right.
So Heyman knows how to talk. Talk some game. He can. Yeah. He'll be able to work things out. But yeah, it's really strange. The fact that he's had such a cush job as champion, only having 3 matches, he's like all of a sudden up in arms about what's going to happen.
What I've heard, like part of what I heard and what I think is the most likely, is that WWE's Lesnar doesn't want to re-sign, but he doesn't necessarily know where he wants to go. He wants to be a free agent.
He's got 3 different options. Yeah. I know UFC wants him back. Bellator, I think, wants him. Yeah, he's got the option to re-sign with WWE.
An MMA thing in Japan has offered him a deal.
Interesting.
So what I've heard is Lesnar wants to just be a free agent and look at his options for a while, but WWE's pressuring him really hard to re-sign. Yeah. And I think that's where the issue's coming into play.
Okay. Well.
But anyway, so that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's not all that's come out of WWE.
No. A recent board meeting, Vince McMahon announced that there would be 3 brand new members of the board of directors. Let me bring it up here because there's one person I don't know by name, but I want to be fair to everyone. Stephanie McMahon. Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, and Robin Peterson have all been moved up to the board of directors. Yeah. Robin Peterson has been with WWE is a 15-year veteran in the web and mobile video game development department. All right. So all kinds of social media stuff comes from that person. A lot of the game development, just extra little things. But then now we have Stephanie and Triple H on the board of directors. My first thought was, does this mean we're going to get more of a creative push from them because they are more so in charge of the overall
That's where
product?
I've been thinking too. Because they have more power now.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much more, it's more than it was.
Yes, absolutely. Significantly more.
Yeah, they have more say, and with both of them, or at least with Triple H, I'm pretty sure Steph's similarly minded, but with both of them being so wrestling oriented and understanding the draw of wrestling itself, I think this could be really good for the creative direction of the company. But at the end, I don't know, because it still all stops and starts with Vince McMahon.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, Vince is the chairman.
Yeah.
He runs the company, and everything that happens has to go through him.
Right.
He has to have the final say. But I think, I don't necessarily think, I hope that his trust in both Stephanie and Triple H being in that particular spot, I hope that he takes more advice from the two of them.
Yeah.
And that, he's able to see the success from NXT that Triple H has done and is able to use that to, do something with the main roster. Speaking of NXT, I had a horrible feeling that with Triple H being on the board of directors, does that take him away from NXT?
I don't think so.
Granted, they do record 4 tapings in a row, so he's only got to be there literally one day, but he does run the Performance Center also.
Right. I don't necessarily think it'll interfere with the day-to-day operations. And if it does, Triple H will get to, I'm sure, handpick his NXT successor.
Yeah.
So, with how good of a job Triple H has done running the show, I believe he'll pick someone who he has enough faith in that I can trust will do an excellent job running NXT.
That's a fair assumption. I don't feel like Triple H would just leave NXT to like rot.
Right.
He'd definitely want to keep taking care of it because it's had so much great success. So congratulations to Robin Peterson, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon for getting there.
Yeah, my final thoughts on this are that I don't know how much more say Triple H and Steph will have on Raw and SmackDown for the creative of Raw and SmackDown now, but Vince did put them there for a reason.
Yeah.
So, what that reason is, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm kind of hopeful that it's because he trusts them enough to give them more control over what we see on TV.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing a lot of media stuff. Stephanie was tweeting out pictures earlier today. Her, Hulk Hogan, and John Cena were all out doing stuff, doing more media coverage for WrestleMania through, they were working with Google.
Right.
And a couple of, I think it was another company they were doing live Q&A sessions and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, they're both very involved in the company now, that hopefully this means that Triple H is going to start, or Vince is going to start taking some more, creativity ideas, hopefully just taking more opinions from multiple sources, because we know that that's worked for Vince in the past. Whether it was booking with Pat Patterson or, booking with JR, there's always been another creative mind that's kind of given him ideas and they've worked together. Let's hope that with Triple H being able to run NXT the way he does, and Stephanie's grown up in the business, I feel like they would benefit Vince very much, but we know Vince can be stubborn as well, so there may be no change at all. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. We'll have to see if things start looking up.
Yeah.
And then in our final real big story, we mentioned it back in our midweek wrap up. Hashtag Give Divas a Chance started trending throughout the week. A lot of people are assuming that it's kind of backlash from the 15-second match that we got on Raw. A lot of fans, even some of the girls themselves, were tweeting out. The one specific person that tweeted out in regards to this was AJ Lee,
right?
Who's out on injury. Because Stephanie tweeted out the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. She tweeted out something in regards to it, and then AJ tweeted specifically at her. Your women have record-selling merchandise, and they work just as hard as the men, but they're not given as much pay, nor are they given as much TV time as the male-dominated roster. And then Stephanie would reply with, "I appreciate your input, AJ. Thank you." Now, there's reports coming out that Stephanie is really upset with AJ tweeting this out specifically at her, and that it was Vince that said, "Hey, just say thank you, and we'll work on it from here." But
I have a hard time imagining that Vince is the level-headed one.
Vince is the voice of reason. Vince McMahon.
No, I'm gonna just say I think it's work. Yeah. No, Paige also tweeted about the Give Divas a Chance thing. She didn't do a direct, attack on anyone, but, not even attack, just directly calling out anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I read that they were potentially planning a AJ and Paige versus the Bellas and Stephanie for WrestleMania. AJ's been out for a while. It's getting to be WrestleMania season.
Perfect time to start a storyline.
Yeah, and it's, sure, it's being said that Stephanie was livid, but who's to really know?
Yeah.
The people who are letting this out are people in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, you and I were having a discussion about it earlier. We are in the reality era.
Yeah.
You can't really hide anything that happens in WWE anymore. It's
right.
very rare that we get surprised by something. And specifically with Twitter, you've got so many people on it, so many people passing stuff around, that anything could get out there, so they could absolutely just be working this into or as a storyline. So, one thing I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Serenity. She says she really hopes that the Give Divas a Chance thing works.
Yeah.
Because the NXT Divas specifically are so talented, but it's like I brought up this idea to her, is that moving up to the main roster is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because here are your options. Your options are, yes, I want to live my dream. I want to be on the WWE main roster. I want to be on pay-per-views and everything, but be subjected to 15 to 30-second matches on a regular basis. Or, no, I don't want to move up to the main roster. I want to stay in NXT. Oh, you're still in NXT. You're not improving. Well, we're going to cut you. And
with a knife.
Not with a knife.
Oh,
with a
okay,
contract.
never mind that kind of cut.
Yeah,
just.
And then the person never gets to live out their dream of being. You know, all these girls want to be at WrestleMania. They want to do the SummerSlam. They want to be on Raw. They want to be on SmackDown. They want to be on all these things, but they have to be subjected to just really unfair treatment, and they're not getting the attention that some of the great divas used to get.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what are these women supposed to choose? Like, they're really given a hard decision, and neither side benefits them.
Yeah.
So the Give Divas a Chance, I am fully behind it. If it is a legit thing, if it is not storyline, I am for sure behind it, because these girls work too hard to not be highlighted.
No, my hope is that it's a storyline with a real payoff.
That they're legitimately using this as a platform?
Yes, like that they're seeing that the fans are frustrated. Because Vince even tweeted, he's like, "We hear you, just wait and see."
Yes. Oh, I totally forgot to mention
this is the other thing that makes me think this is all leading up to something.
Yeah, it's hashtag give Divas a Chance, just wait and see.
Yeah, because
please, Vince.
I feel like it's them saying, okay, the fans are visibly frustrated. We need to give them something more. So we're going to give them something to rally behind. We're going to get AJ to be the leader of this movement. We'll get Paige to, stand right with her. We'll work it into an angle. And then after it's done,
open the floodgates.
Yeah. Basically,
and here come the Awesome Divas.
To me, it's like, okay, this is the chance. The AJ Paige, Bella, Steph thing will be their chance. If this catches on, which I'm sure it will.
I just thought of a great thing. We were talking about it earlier about, like, our initial ideas were, like, maybe Trish or Lita could come back. Because they were part of that, that big movement of women's wrestling. But what if Charlotte takes that spot?
Yeah.
So you get the most dominant NXT Women's Champion moves up to back AJ and Paige in a 3-on-3 Divas battle against the Bellas and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's do this. That'd be... I mean, I hope that this is the start of something.
Since we're in a hypothetical land right now.
Yeah.
If we have, like, an NXT diva get called up to be part of the Give Divas a Chance movement, Bayley would be a really nice one to add to it, too. Because her gimmick is all about getting to live her dream. And this would really be her being able to, like, get up, get called up, kind of, like, maybe have her hopes crushed a little bit, but at the same time have something to rally behind right away, and then be kind of one of the first generation of the new Divas division.
At the same time, I would kind of want her to step back from this, because if she's not... Like, she could tweet about it, while she's on NXT, but have her kind of stay back. So when she does make it to the main roster, have her start talking about, how proud she was to be a part of the Give Divas a Chance. The fact that she was able, she's able to live her dream because, such a great opportunity came for these girls, and then have someone shut her down and go, you weren't here to help us. You were still down in developmental.
Yeah.
You have no right to say that you're a part of this movement. This is ours. And start a storyline now.
Yeah, probably be the Bellas.
Yeah, because the Bellas are bitches.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate and Bellas gonna bitch.
Other little mention, Rey Mysterio no longer with WWE officially.
Yep.
Yeah,
I guess initially people thought it was that he got released, but his deal actually expired. They've been trying to work on a new deal. Nothing happened, and in his contract it was said if no deal is reached, that they release him by the end of February.
Yeah.
And seeing as how currently while we're recording this, it is February 26th or 27th, he is officially no longer with WWE, but he does have a lot of people with their sights set on him. We know Conan, who is currently in Lucha Underground, has been lobbying to get him in to do some appearances in Lucha Underground. AAA, he's been in talks with Del Rio or Alberto El Patron to get in there. I
think they might be the same guy.
No.
Maybe.
No, because Del Rio drove all the cars. I haven't seen El Patron.
Well, I think WWE took his cars in the firing.
Those racists.
Yeah.
No, I think this is great for Rey though, because he's not going to be bogged down by the continuous schedule.
Yeah.
He's able to do appearances when he wants, and he's able to get the time off that he needs. And it's not because we don't have anything for you. It's hey, we got a show in about a month.
Yep.
Let's come to that one for the rest of the month. He's Rey Mysterio. I think he's financially set. I think he's okay.
Probably.
He's been wrestling for like 20 years. I think he's good.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate for the WWE audience, but if you keep up with independent wrestling, you're in store for a treat because you're going to get Rey Mysterio showing up sometimes. So
get him to do all the big indie stuff.
I'll mark out if he shows up at Chikara. I'll lose my mind if he shows up in Chikara.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. So...
He could be King Ice Cream.
No, he'd be the smaller version of very mysterious ice cream.
The sort of mysterious ice cream.
Oh man. So yeah, that's about all the
It'd be the mystery flavor.
I like it. That's it for WWE news. Just a few things that have they've kind of come about and we needed to talk about them. They've been making some news over the last couple days, so that's all the information we've got. If we get some more information, maybe we'll do this again next week, just to kind of maybe in one of the segments we'll kind of go through and put some finality to some of these if there's any developments. But as we say at the end of every video, we got more videos. We got links. We got Facebook. We got Tumblr. We got Twitter. Check all those out. We got emails. Kevin Hawk's personal email is there. He's not here right now, but you could email him and go, "Hey, what the fuck, Hawk? Where'd you go?"
Yeah.
But we got some more videos over there. We're gonna be recording some more videos, so be sure to check them all out, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you to the 19 people that are subscribed already. We have 19 now. We're almost at 20.
Yeah.
You guys are automatically aware that we post videos. You even get that if you follow me on Twitter, because as soon as the video goes up, my Twitter lets you know. What? You should do that.
New age shit right there.
Yeah. And if you like our Facebook, it's posted directly there, so do that.
Yeah. There's all sorts of places to find our videos.
Yeah.
Or links to our videos, at least.
Yeah. So let the playlist keep playing. Watch some more videos.
Yeah. Pick your favorite.
Or this one. Yeah, that one's pretty good.